FlexRadio.net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KDA-VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2473 with the release date of Friday, March 21st, 2025 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. The Voice of America and other international news services are being dismantled. The stranded NASA astronauts are home at last. And New Zealand, it's a new mobile emergency operations center for disaster response. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2473 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, here's Stephen Kenford, N8WB.
Our top story takes us to Washington, D.C., where the U.S. Agency for Global Media has been marked for defunding. Voice of America, Radio Free Europe, Radio Free Asia, and Radio Marti are among the international news services that the White House says it is preparing to dismantle. Ken Peterson, KC0DGY, gives us the details.
Voice of America, a shortwave service launched in 1942 during the Second World War to bring news to countries under authoritarian control, is among U.S.-based news programming for overseas audiences targeted in a deep cut by the Trump administration. According to various media reports, VOA employees have been notified that they were all being placed on administrative leave with full benefits, effective immediately. Cuts to VOA, as well as Radio Free Europe, Radio Free Asia, Radio Marti, and others are the result of reductions taking place inside the U.S. Agency for Global Media, where these programs originate. These cuts are part of the ongoing downsizing of the U.S. government. The agency operates with congressional funding to deliver news in 64 languages to listeners around the world via 6 networks, some of which were created during the Cold War. VOA's first broadcast, made in 1942, was in German and was transmitted to German listeners to counter Nazi propaganda. The Agency for Global Media's mission statement reads, quote, "To inform, engage, and connect people around the world in support of freedom and democracy," end quote. On Friday the 15th of March, Trump signed the executive order for the cuts, noting in the language of the order itself that the services earmarked for reduction had been deemed, quote, "unnecessary," end quote. This is Kent Peterson, KC0, DGY.
In related news, the FCC is looking for public input on what rules, regulations, or other forms of guidance should be eliminated as part of the Commission's efforts at deregulation. A public notice has set a deadline of Friday, April 11th for initial comments. Reply comments are due by Monday, April 28th. The Commission is hoping to hear recommendations based on changes in technology and the market, cost-benefit considerations, and regulations that are a barrier to entry in the communications marketplace. All filings must reference docket number 25-133. On its website, the FCC refers to the document as the delete docket. Tuesday night, March 18th, brought a safe splashdown at long last for Suna Williams, KD-5 PLB, and Butch Wilmore, the two NASA astronauts, left stranded on the International Space Station for 9.5 months after their Boeing Starliner spacecraft malfunctioned. They splashed down inside the SpaceX Dragon Freedom capsule off the coast of Florida along with NASA astronaut Nick Hague, KG-5 TMV, and Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov. The 17-hour flight home ended a saga that began with what was supposed to have been only a short test flight aboard the Boeing Starliner in June. 2 trips are planned this year for young radio operators who are accepted into the Dave Coulter Memorial Youth DX Adventure. As we hear from CellMB KB3TZD.
The adventure promises to be twice as big for young amateurs participating in the Dave Coulter Memorial Youth DX Adventure experience in June and July. There are 2 trips planned. The first trip takes a group of youngsters to one of the top contesting stations here in the U.S. The young hams will serve as a team operating special event station W3Y from June 13th to the 15th, hosted by the K3LR Multi Contest Station in Pennsylvania. In July, other young participants will be going to Curacao to another super contesting station to operate as PJ2Y. The program is being hosted for the 4th time by the Caribbean Contesting Consortium, PJ2T. This 4-day activation will take place from the 17th through the 22nd of July. Be on the lookout for applications for both of these trips. In the meantime, you can visit the team page to get more information. The website is youthdxa.org. That's youthdxa, all one word, .org. These adventures reflect the spirit and support given the program by Dave Coulter, KB8OCP, the Youth Adventures co-founder. Dave became a silent key in November of 2013. This is CellMB KB3TZD.
Members of the ham radio community in Bermuda and beyond are grieving the loss of a friend and active operator. We have details from Graham Kemp, BK4BB.
The call sign of Walter Carlington, VP9KD, could be heard often at the family home in Bermuda when his son, Scott, was growing up. Walter, who became licensed in March of 1978, became devoted early on to operating in CW, but soon added the joys of SSB to his repertoire. Walter became a silent key at home on the 11th of March. According to his son, Scott, he had been diagnosed with cancer. The retired mechanical engineer belonged to the Radio Society of Bermuda, the International Sideband Society, and the O-Mike Amateur Radio Association, where his fist and his voice were well known on a number of the group's nets. He had also been net director for the Friendly Caribous Connection net on 2 meters. Walter was 81. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
A ham radio operator's repair work at his club's repeater has led to dismissal from his job with the county. George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU, explains.
Repair work that a ham radio operator and fellow club members conducted on a repeater site in Washington State has cost the ham his government job. Ashoton County officials said that Russell Pelleberg, KA7MPX, was not authorized to give the other members of the Hell's Gate Amateur Radio Club access to the secure site, and that their work caused a communications outage and a power meter disturbance for other users at the site. And the local utility, Clearwater Power Company, also has facilities. According to a report in the Lewiston Tribune, Pelleberg said he had discussed the work with county commissioners and they had appeared to be supportive. He told investigators that he had even written a resolution for the county to vote on, but there were delays producing the document. The newspaper report said that he had apologized on behalf of the club for proceeding ahead of the necessary vote and that the hams meant no harm. No criminal charges were filed or recommended. Helleberg, who has worked in government for 35 years, was terminated from his job as the county's public works director in late January. This is George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
We remind our listeners that young hams who live in the continental United States have an opportunity to make news, if they aren't already doing so, by being a recipient of this year's Amateur Radio Newsline Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Consider nominating an amateur radio operator 18 years of age or younger, someone who has talent, promise, and commitment to the spirit of ham radio. Newsline was proud last year to honor Grace Papay, K8LG of Holland, Michigan, with this special award. Do you know someone who might qualify to receive this year's honor? Find application forms on our website, arnewsline.org, under the YHOTY tab. Nominations are now open. We're accepting nominations through May 31st. Time for you to identify your station. We are the amateur radio Newsline heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the K5 DUR repeater in Rowlett, Texas, on Sundays at 7 p.m. local time. Amateur radio is showing its strength inside one division of the U.S. Navy as we hear from Ralph Squillaci, KK6 ITB.
Amateur radio has provided the inspiration for a new initiative within the Resilient Communications Program at the U.S. Naval Undersea Warfare Center Division in the state of Washington. Organizers in Keyport, Washington, are working to use ham radio's reliability as a backup for its emergency communications when there are disruptions to the internet, computer function, or mobile phone services. Eric Seeley, the division's director of innovation in Keyport, said that the program embraces the technology of ham radio for this purpose and will be establishing a network of licensed hams to make use of amateur radio frequencies when the need arises. Organizers have also been encouraging nearby naval bases to join in their effort. The Keyport team is reaching beyond the military, too. Everyone needs an Elmer, so organizers have contacted local ham radio clubs as well as emergency responders to help with training the new operators to grow the network. Some members of the team have already obtained their GMRS license, or General Mobile Radio Service, but acknowledge that the next step is the FCC's technician test to become a ham. This is Ralph Squillaci, KK6 ITB.
Hams throughout the U.S. are getting on the air to mark the anniversary of a groundbreaking vaccine that gave hope in the fight against polio 7 decades ago. Jack Parker, W8ISH, tells us more.
Members of the Narwhal Amateur Radio Society are marking the 70th anniversary of the approval of the vaccine against polio, which was developed by the American physician and researcher Dr. Jonas Salk. On April 12, 1955, the U.S. government permitted the use of Salk's injectable vaccine, which contains inactive forms of the virus. There had been several epidemics at the time of polio, a paralyzing virus also known as poliomyelitis. Radio operators in a number of locations around the U.S. will be calling QRZ Salk, or Polio on the Air, from the 5th through the 19th of April. And to ensure that everyone has a chance to make contact with the special event stations, they will be operating on HF, VHF, and UHF. Operators will be using single sideband, FT4, FT8, Echolink, and All-Star. The hams will be using call signs that spell out the word polio. So listen for W7P, W7O, W7L, W7I, and W7O. Each station will be sending out individual QSL cards, so there's an opportunity to collect all 5. The Narwhal operators are also looking for volunteer operators. Anyone who wants to participate or has questions about the event should send an email to the address found in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
A new mobile operations center has just become available in New Zealand to be deployed for emergency communications when disaster strikes. We have details from Jim Meechan, ZL2 BHF.
The new Mobile Emergency Operations Centre of the Manawatu District Council was years in the making. Recently unveiled to the public at a family fun day in Victoria Park, Fielding, the EOC was a concept in administrators' mind for quite some time. They recognised for a long time that a transportable EOC was essential for civil defence emergencies in a region that has a large rural population. Until now, the district urban-based EOC was all everyone had. The mobile EOC can be trailered from place to place and set up quickly, usually within half an hour. Once in place, it can accommodate as many as 40 people and shield them well from winds of up to 100 kilometres per hour or about 62 miles an hour. When discussions began years ago, Cyclone Gabrielle was on people's minds. Hawke's Bay, which is also on the North Island, suffered terribly during the 2023 storm, but mobile coordination centres responded quickly there, creating a tent city for communications and other assistance. The New Zealand Net newsletter quoted Mayor Helen Werboys, who praised the new EOC and the promise it brings in times of crisis. She said, quote, "In times of emergency, every second counts, and having a mobile, highly equipped response unit like this will make a tremendous difference in our ability to coordinate effectively and deploy resources quickly," end quote. As the newsletter editors also noted in their report, the new mobile EOC will be ideal for next year's field day operations. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
In the world of DX, members of ARI, Sondrio, IQ2UL will be on the air in Italy as special event station II2 AUT from the 27th of March through to the 10th of April for World Autism Awareness. QSL via IK2WAD. Ishmael 8P6PE is on the air as J87PE from St. Vincent Island until the 30th of March. This is a POTA vacation for Ishmael, who can be spotted in POTA parks on 40 through 6 meters using SSB. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Heath BK3 TWO will be active holiday style as 3D2 TWO from Vanua Lavu, IOTA number OC016, and possibly from VT Lavu, IOTA number OC016 in Fiji until the 27th of March. Heath is using SSB and FT8 on 40 to 6 meters. QSL via his instructions. Gary KC9EE will be active as PJ7EE from St. Martin, IOTA number NA105 from the 26th of March through to the 6th of April. He will also participate in the CQWWWPX SSB contest. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Our last story is a sad postscript that relates to the debate of AM broadcast radio and perhaps even its relevance. The giant cumulus media has already pulled the plug on AM radio stations such as KZAC in California, WRIE in Pennsylvania, and KPUR in Texas, among many others. Now, one small independent station in New York State has decided that it too has had enough. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, has that story.
The website for New York radio station WIRYAM screams, quote, hometown radio, playing all the hits from yesteryear to today. Now, after 75 years, however, there will be no hits played for any tomorrows. The upstate New York State broadcaster has announced it is going silent, the result of a changing audience and a changing media environment. Lawmakers in Washington, D.C. are presently debating whether a law is needed to ensure that car makers keep AM radio in vehicles sold in the U.S. But for this broadcaster, a locally owned station in the Champlain Valley, the argument is over and AM radio has lost. WIRY made its announcement earlier this month. The announcement did not specify the last day before its transmitter would go silent. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
Have you sent in your amateur radio haiku to Newsline's Haiku Challenge yet? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. Set your thoughts down using traditional haiku format. A 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to ABC News, Associated Press, Amateur News Daily, CNN, David Halter Memorial, Youth DX Adventure, David Bihar, K7DB, Defense Visual Information Distribution Service, FCC, Lewiston Tribute, Narwhal Amateur Radio Society, NZNet.com, QRZ.com, Radio Insight, Radio World, Scott Carlington, ShortwaveRadio.d, Wireless Institute of Australia, WPTZ, Plattsburgh, Yahoo News, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at airnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, NAWB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024. All rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 9 minutes.
W8VPV repeater. W8VPV. Repeater.
traffic may break in at any time. Please leave a brief pause between transmissions.
all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep our members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We'll start with some announcements and ask for check-ins from any officers or members who have announcements of general interest in the club. Once that's complete, we'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, confirming the call before moving to the next. Once I've got 5 check-ins, we'll go back, work those 5, take another 5, and repeat that process till we're done. I will then repeat the announcements, ask for any final check-ins, and then wrap this net up. Okay, announcements. This Wednesday, 4th Wednesday in March, we'll be having another clubhouse activity. If you are interested in wanting to know the behind-the-scenes operation of a repeater, that would be the controller, and we will be working with a controller at the clubhouse. We're going to bring the backup repeater controller up there, the computer that we program it with, various books and manuals, and probably a whiteboard, and we'll start going through the actual programming of it, how it works, and we're planning on and eventually using this to get some people up to speed on how the repeater works and actually enhance its functionality. So if you're at all interested in the repeater and more specifically how the controller works and how it's programmed, you'll probably want to attend this meeting. I'll be there starting at 4 o'clock. We'll be bringing pieces together for a while. We're going to be plugging stuff in and trying to get things operational, and then we'll get a whiteboard up there and maybe start flow charting or walking through it. So if you're interested in the repeater controller and how it's programmed, this is one you don't want to miss. Of course, the big event coming up is our HempFest. That's Saturday, April 5th, coming up here in just under 2 weeks. We are always looking for more volunteers. I don't have a link on the club webpage right now, but if you are willing to volunteer and you've not already expressed yourself to me, please drop me email, mycall, WATEZT@cpark.org, and I'll add you to the list. We need people to watch doors, sell tickets, help set up tables Friday night, and basically help wrap it up Saturday. As a volunteer, you get in early, so you always get that opportunity to kind of peruse the stuff out there and maybe get a good deal on what you want before it's all gone. So please drop me some email now if you're interested in volunteering. The other thing is we've got a meeting coming up that will be the 9th. That'll be a follow-up meeting for the HempFest. We'll have some up-to-date information about how we did there. So by all means, you'll want to attend that. I'm not sure what else we're going to be doing, but we're going to have something exciting there. Also, just as a general note on this HempFest this year, due to the diligent work of our club president, Greg, WB8YYS, we have well over $1,000 of additional prizes, piano batteries, aero antennas, ham radio logging software. So by all means, you're going to want to definitely attend this HempFest. Get your ticket in the drum and perhaps even buy some extra chance tickets, because we're going to offer those this year because of the quality of the prizes. So that's really about it. That's about everything I've got. Do we have any officers or trustees or any members with announcements of general interest to the club members? Go ahead now.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
Good evening, Vince. Go ahead.
All right, first thing, Frank, boy, your signal is scratchy as all get out, but that's beside the point. It's time for newsletter, and I made the comment about the Frank newsletter. Well, right now it's the Anthony newsletter. So if you want to have some content besides what I've got already, it's time to think about it, because it'll be published, unfortunately, after the HamFest. So anyway, that's all I got, Frank. AC8XO, back to net.
All right, thanks, Vince. Is my signal any better here?
That time it was.
Okay, I just kicked it to high power, and we'll see how that holds in. Thank you very much. Do we have anybody else with announcements of general interest to the club? All right, we'll start taking check-ins. Looking for 5 check-ins now.
WO3X.
Right, I got you, John. Next. Got you, Larry. Next.
KVI, in and out.
All right, Ron, thanks for stopping by. I got you in and out. Next.
KB8BHK, John, in and out.
All right, KD8BHK. Was that Kilo Delta 8?
Kilo Bravo.
To me, D's and B's sound alike. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the count. Another check-in, please.
KD8AIR.
Got a fan going next to me here on a power supply, and I'm having trouble hearing. That last station, give me your call again, please.
Kilo Delta 8 Alpha India Romeo, in and out.
KD8 Alpha India Romeo, AIR, in and out. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate you stopping by. Next.
KD8CQR.
Keith got you in there. Next.
Kilo Echo 8, Zulu Papa X-ray, in and out.
PX got you in and out. We'll take one more and then I'll go start working what I got here. Okay, looks like it's going to be a light night tonight. All right, John, go ahead. You're up next. WO3X.
Good evening, Frank, and all on the net. This is WO3X. If your power is still up, the scratching is back again. I'm thinking it's maybe something with your microphone. I had the microphone for my Yaesu FT100D would do that until I sprayed some blue stuff, which I'm just about out of, into the push-to-talk switch. So that's what was causing that on mine. So I think I'm going to sign up as a volunteer examiner there for the Hamfest there. So maybe around a 10 o'clock session or whatever. So with that, back to the net. This is WO3X, and I'll be listening for you on 75 meters there.
All right, John. Am I sounding any better?
No, it's still the same. What did you attempt to change there?
I tried reseating the microphone connector and wiggling the microphone connector on the back of the mic. I guess I'm going to have to listen to this for a little bit and figure it out later on. My apologies, and it might be the repeater antenna. We have another one. We're going to get it up there this spring as soon as weather permits. So thanks for that, and folks, I apologize for that. We'll get on it as soon as we can. Thanks, John. Appreciate the check-in. Larry, K8PU, you're up next.
Frank, everybody on the net? Yeah, that noise thing you've got there, that's been there for some time, Frank. Back, a month or two when you've done the net. But it seems like in the past it was there when you were doing the presentation for it, and then as the net went on, it seemed like it used to clear up. But you've had that for some time, but no one ever really mentioned it, but we was always able to, understand what you're saying. But it is worse right now. Okay, Frank, I have nothing really to add, and I can't do the 80 tonight, so I'll have to catch you guys at the next session and give it back to you. So everybody keep warm this week. It'll be a little chilly, and stay safe, and we'll catch you at the next event. W8VPV, K8PU.
All right, thanks, Larry. I appreciate it. I will get on this radio this week if I can fit it in with all the Hamfest activity and try to figure out what's going on. Now, I hopefully will have it fixed by next month, even if I have to swap radios. Appreciate that information. Let's see, got a bunch of in and outs. Keith, KE8TQR, go ahead, sir.
W8VPV, this is KE8TQR. Good evening, Frank. Good evening, everyone else here. Watch all of that. I do not have a camera or a microphone, so I can see you all there, but nobody can see or listening to me, which could be a good thing. I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, I see we got some stuff going on. I have signed up. I haven't picked out anything, so whatever's left over, I guess you'll just have to point me in a direction and tell me what to do. And that's about the best way to do it. And let's see, over the weekend I did some contacting, and I did learn about a couple more buttons on the front of my Kenwood TS690. I now know what the split button does. There was a DX expedition down in Jamaica. They were from Ireland, and they were running on split, so I didn't know that. Spent about a couple minutes trying to get my call sign out there to get them to answer, but nothing had happened, and somebody finally took pity on me and told me that they were running split. And after 5 minutes reading the manual, I figured out how that worked, and I got to contact them 3 different times, 15, 17, and 20, so I got it done. So now I know something more about my radio, and I know what some more buttons do on it, so hey, learned something new. Other than that, just a quiet day here at the QTH. I got N1MM loaded onto my tablet and looking forward to doing some contesting down the road. Anyway, that's about all I got. Thought I'd just jump in here and say hello to everyone. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening, great rest of the week, and hope to see everybody at the Hamfest. With that, I'll turn it back over to you, Frank. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless.
Very good, Keith. Thank you very much. And I learned that same lesson that same way a number of years ago, what split was and how to enable it on my radio, an IC 7300. And the same thing, somebody finally took mercy on me and said, the guy's up 5. And I thought, oh, I know what that means. So appreciate that then. Okay, another in and out. I'm at the bottom of my list. So proceed for more check-ins. This is W8VPV. KE8, Tony, what was the last suffix of your call again?
Kilo, Foxtrot, 8, Alpha, Victor, Delta.
Alpha, Victor, Delta. Thanks, Tony. Eventually I will get it, and I recognize you are a Foxtrot, part of the new call range. Thanks, Tony. Were you in and out, or you have something for the net? I'm going to take people one at a time. It looks like a real light net tonight.
Not in and out.
Alrighty, well, I sure hope to see you at the Hamfest. It's looking like it's going to be a big one, and we've had over $1,000 worth of prizes donated by various vendors, thanks to our President Greg's diligent efforts. So we are going to be, I think this will be a very, very good Hamfest. All right, looking for another check-in.
KE8FKN.
I think 8FKN. I should recognize that. It sounds familiar. I can't put a name on it. Go ahead.
Just a quick in and out.
All right, got you in and out. Appreciate that, Bob. Next.
Ron, not Bob.
Try that once more, man. It's noisy on this side also, at least for me. I'm having trouble picking names out. It looks like it's time to get some work on that repeater done. Station calling, try it again.
KE8FKN, Ron in Fairlawn.
Ron, I'm sorry, I had Bob down here. Can't read my own handwriting. Thank you, Ron, appreciate that. You said you were in and out. Next check-in.
WA8WFX.
Floyd, WA8WFX. Good to hear you in there. How you doing? Go ahead. I'm taking these one at a time.
Okay, Frank. Yeah, just wanted to say hello to everybody. I just got home from taking my granddaughter home to Camp Fulton, and happened to think that the net was on, so I picked up the radio. Hoping to maybe see you Wednesday at the clubhouse and see what's going on there. And other than that, we're just hanging around and enjoying the day.
Very good, Floyd. Springs in Ohio are always fun. And boy, I'm pulling a high SWR here. I got some issues with my radio. All right, thanks, Floyd. Appreciate the check-in. Looking for the next check-in, W8VPV.
This is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, KE8ULC, Kurt.
Man, oh man, you're blasting through. Good audio, good loud into the room. Kurt, anything for the net tonight?
Haven't been on the net the last few weeks. Life is happening, but hopefully things will settle down. I'm looking forward, hopefully, to this Wednesday to actually participate with the actual repeater and the controller for that. I would like to make sure that everybody is aware that we are doing this extra class with the club on Sunday nights. I appreciate the work that everybody's putting into it, and I'm attending. And I wish you would. It's not extra class yet. And back to you, Frank.
Very good. Thank you for that reminder. We are doing an extra class for anybody who is interested in upgrading. We had week 1, but it is available online, so you can watch it. We'll still accept sign-ups up to this weekend where we do week 2. And so if you're looking to upgrade, by all means, go ahead and sign up. And thank you, Kurt, for your helping prompt me on that. And again, our condolences. I understand your mother passed away the other day, so 73. Very seriously sorry on that one. All right, we're taking them one at a time here. This is going to be a quick net. W8VPV, looking for another check-in.
W8K.
W8 something K. Go ahead, the K station.
KW8K, Kilo Whiskey 8 Kilo.
KW8K, go ahead.
Okay, it's Bill. It used to be KW8KW, and I got it fixed back in January. Just running back and forth between the shack and the bottom of the tower so I could see where the antenna's aimed, and try and make a little graph here. I got some slippage sometime over the winter, I guess, and so I'm about 45 degrees off on it, so I gotta make something up for the contest this weekend. That's all I got. Talk to you later. KW8K.
Pretty good, Bill. Appreciate the check-in. Yeah, I've been watching the wind the last couple of days, and we've had a lot of wind this spring, so if your rotator is not absolutely clamped down to that, your antenna may be out of sync with what your rotator says. We had that happen once at field day. Didn't know what was going on there. But thanks very much. Appreciate it, and congratulations on the new call sign. I recognize you now from the old one. It's going to take me a while to get it in mind. Appreciate your check-ins, Bill. Moving on, this is W8VPV looking for more check-ins. All right, looks like it's going to be a light net tonight, so let me go ahead through the announcements real quick again. First of all, and I missed this on the lead-in, we have an extra class going. If you're a general class ham operator and you're interested in moving up to extra class, this is we had the first week of a 7-week session. It is videoed, and the video is online, so you can go back and watch it. You can still sign up through this Sunday. It's going to go for successive 6 more weekends, not counting Easter. So it'll be up through May, I think 11th is the last one. It doesn't cost anything. We do encourage you to sign up and get the full course from Stu Turner, W0 Stu, in his ham radio school books. They seem to be very good classes. We've had a lot of success with them in the technician and general class, and I think they're going to work out well for the extra also. Coming up this Wednesday, we're going to be doing a introduction to the repeater controller presentation. We'll be up in the clubhouse. We're going to set up the controller, a power supply, some speakers, and pull out the manuals. And whoops, my SWR meter just dropped to 0. It says I'm transmitting. I don't know what that means. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. W8 VPV, looking for more check-ins.
Kilo Echo 8, Whiskey Golf Delta.
AE8WGD, go ahead. Did I drop out on that last transmission, Greg?
I only heard part of it. I don't have much to say. I'm just testing out a new radio, and it seems like it's working. So back to net.
All right, I may need to get a new radio here also. I think I'm having problems, so appreciate the check-in, Greg. We also have coming up a meeting on the 9th of April. That'll be Hamfest wrap-up, and we'll see what else happens there. Boy, I got something wrong with my antenna for sure. I got SWR jumping up all over the place. W8 VPV, looking for more check-ins. All right, hearing now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this net up. I apologize for the quality of the signal. I will get on that, and we'll have that resolved within the next week or two for sure. So anyway, wrapping this up, we made the announcements again. The Hamfest coming up on April 5th is the big event this year. As I say, we have well over, I think it's at this point, well over $1,500 in prizes and drawings. It looks like we are sold out almost to the point where we can't get any more tables in there. I hope to see you there. Let me see if I can, what is wrong with my meter? Anyway, okay, I'm getting a signal out. My meter's just acting weird on me. So that's really it. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been Frank, W8EZT, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. We'll now close the net with, let's see here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 check-ins, myself included, and return this repeater to normal and customary check-ins. Normal and customary amateur radio use. Keep in mind, we do offer the band exploration net tonight at 9:30. It'll be on 80 meters, 3.827 or somewhere thereabouts, based on the QRM. We'll find a spot and I'll announce it on this repeater just before the net starts. So hope to hear you there. This has been W8 Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net this evening at 8:53 with 15 check-ins. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a great evening. 73.
W8EZT, this is WO3X.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, well, when you said your SWR dropped to 0, your signal just got a little bit weaker, but and it just had a little bit of static in it. And then when you said it's jumping all over the place, well, I could hear a difference here, you know. So I don't know. Maybe it's not the microphone. Maybe it's something with the RF, you know, the coax or something. So that's what I heard here. So with that, I'll listen for you on here for the frequency of the 80 meter net. W8EZT, this is WO3X. I'm clear.
All right, thanks, John. I really appreciate that, and I promised everybody I will get this fixed up by next time I have to do the net, even if I have to buy another radio. So W8EZT, I'll be trying to find an open spot on the 80 meter band here. Thanks, everybody.
It might not be the radio. It might be the coax or connection to the antenna up there or down ground level.
Yeah, I'm going to go after that. I'll start digging into it and retighten every connection. Right now I'm using an indoor antenna because my outside antenna went bad last fall and I haven't gotten to it. So maybe I've got another problem here I need to chase down also. Thanks again. W8 VP, well, W8 EZT. I'll be clear and monitoring.
Frank, make it 16 K8HMS.
Oh, hey, Steve. Good to hear you in there. K8HMS. Always welcome another person, even if I've closed the net. Hopefully we can hear you on 80 meters tonight.
I'll be looking for you. W8 VPV, W8, oh boy, anyway, K8HMS, yep, see you on 80.
Sounds good, Steve. Hope to see you at the Hamfest also. It looks like we're going to have a really good one this year.
Sounds good. I'm not sure what all I can do yet, but I'll try to do all I can.
You always do. Really appreciate it. And we are looking for somebody to run the check-in station. I'm going to start begging, and I'd do it if I could, but as treasurer this year, I've got to deal with the money. Man, I'm watching this SWR meter, and it looks good, and then it just drops out. I'm going to put a dummy load on here and see what's going on. All right, W8EZT, I'll be clear.
Okay, after Frank. WFX.
I heard a double in there. I got WFX. Floyd, I'll get right back to you. Who's the other station?
Kilo Echo 8, Foxtrot, Kilo November, KE8, FKN.
KE8, FKN. Go ahead, Ron.
I'm picking you up loud and clear out here in Fairlawn. I've just got a little handheld, and I'm holding it up to the back window because it's too cold out on the deck. So just thought you'd want to know.
Well, I do appreciate that. I think I still have some problems, and this setup has been in place now for well over 10 years, so it's time for me to make some, at least tighten connections and wiggle cables and make sure I know what's going on. And as I say, I'm showing about a 4-to-1 SWR, and I think my radio's folding back power-wise and dropping power on long transmissions. But appreciate the information. Every little bit helps, Ron. And WAA, WFX, go ahead.
Hi, Frank. I just was going to say you can put me down for that. I thought we were going to do that. I'll help with the check-in thing.
Awesome. You just pulled my behind out of the fire, Floyd. I really appreciate that. I was going to ask you politely when we get together later this week, but appreciate you jumping in there. So one big check mark off my list of issues to resolve. Thanks. Very good. By the way, Floyd, do you still have an HF antenna up?
Sort of. It needs to work because
Okay, we'll see if I can catch you on 80 meters tonight. I'll be listening for you. It'll be somewhere near 3.827, but not quite sure yet. I got to kick on the radio and find a clear spot.
Okay, thanks. I don't think I'm going to try it until I get the antenna back to somewhat normal. It's hanging in weird directions, and just not where I want it to be. WAA, WFX.
All right, sounds good. Thanks again, Floyd, and I'll probably see you later this week. I'll give you a call Wednesday, and I'll plan things out. All right, W8ECT, I'll be clear, and I'm going to go beat on my rig for a minute or two.
because I'm never up that early, but yeah.
Right. Hold on 1 second.
I nasal. I can't.
I'm nowhere near as far south as you are.
Huh. Actually, sometimes that doesn't really matter because I was checking the weather today, and I have the Mackinac Island and the St. Lucia and the Cincinnati and Mackinac was like 36 degrees this morning, and we were like 38, so we wasn't quite very far from that.
I find that when people have multiple weather stations at different weather locations in their weather app, those other locations seem to me that that's where people would rather be. Why do you have that one in Upper Michigan all the time? How come you can't seem to let that go?
Well, I don't have it all the time. Like for instance, I have Mackinac Island at 31 degrees, and as I slide to the left, to the left. And New Albany, which is me, is 43, and as I slide to the left, in St. Lucia is 76. And as I go left from there, Cincinnati, which is 46. So, yeah, I don't always look at these guys. I just keep mine in my neighborhood. And then my phone's smart enough, if I'm in a different neighborhood or a different location, it will say your location, wherever you are at the time, and it will give me that weather.
I think they charge you extra
it's
for that.
76 degrees in St. Lucia, though.
I think they charge you extra for that feature.
You would think. Wow, they having as much wind as us, 16 miles an hour, 25 gusts. That's a lot of wind. Yeah, and it snowed all day up on Mackinac Island.
Yes, it did.
It sure did. Got up to 33 degrees. That's it. My gosh.
We're 27 right now.
You guys are at 27?
Yes, sir.
34, Greater Milwaukee.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to warm up. I mean, the up and down is what's getting to me. 70 degrees a few days ago, then 40-something today, and yeah.
Same thing over here, Terry. My beam is locked up because there's so much rain and snow on the elements that it's detuning almost everything up there, which is really kind of rare. But we'll see. Did somebody step on me?
No.
Okay.
No, I heard you. Actually, everybody heard you too. Yeah, but I do not want to complain because I was the one that were complaining about the complainers. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, especially the old fellas. When it snowed, they complain. When it doesn't snow, they complain some more. When it rains, they complain. And when it doesn't rain, they complain some more. And I'm like, well, wait a second. It was just last summer that it didn't rain, and everybody complained, you know. Now that it's raining, everybody's complaining some more.
You still have the crackling there a little bit. This is WO3X.
Go ahead, John.
Still have the crackling there a little bit.
This is Kilowatt Charlie 8, Quebec, X-Ray Delta.
And 9 LAZ.
No, no crackling.
Okay, I'm back on my outside end.
There's Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a phone call. I had to try to help. I got a friend that's having a crisis right now, so I have been dealing with that for the last few days.
Oops. Oh, we thought you got mad and left.
Nope, I don't get mad.
Very good now.
Life is what it is.
Yeah, Roger. No, I was asking, do you guys have any snow in your neighborhood?
I do not know. I got a lot of wind.
Oh, gosh, today, lots of wind today, yes, sir.
But, you know, my grandkids managed to go outside and play outside for just a little while. That youngin' of my oldest daughter, if it's not raining, he'll be outside. I don't care how cold it is, he'll be outside.
Yeah, but I should not be complaining about the wind there because I have 2 wind turbines that really love the wind.
Yeah. Well, you know, wind is the wind, and, well, it sure beats being blistering cold.
Well, where I live, the wind makes it cold.
Okay, there was just a little bit of crackling.
Well, you know, I was trying to be thoughtful.
Of this last transmission.
Yep.
But
my car are you tonight?
When you were,
Well, I'm doing fine. I'm having a porter.
I'm thinking that's a fake.
It's a type of brew. Porter stout. It's a dark beer.
Okay. Yeah, I've tried a few dark beers. I remember we went on one of my cruises. Went to, I can't remember where it was at now. I want to say Aruba, but I don't think that's right. But anyway, long story short, no, it was in, yeah, it was Aruba. It was in Aruba because I brought home the Aruba beer. But anyway, all the dark beer, I just couldn't, I couldn't stomach it. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah, well, this is brewed at a Michigan brewing place, and it was brewed to commemorate the Edmund Fitzgerald. And when I went to the grocery store, it was in the clearance bin.
Wow, I actually toured the Fitzgerald when they commissioned it in Milwaukee in the late 50s. Unbelievable.
Oh, no kidding. That's pretty cool.
We're standing on the deck, my father and I, looking down the deck, and one of the crew comes over, and my dad said, "This is a huge boat." He said, "Yeah, you're looking at 2 football fields."
How did you happen to be there?
It was Northwestern Mutual. Edmund Fitzgerald was named for one of the presidents, which is typical of the big boats. And I can't remember. My dad was a banker in Milwaukee, and he had some connections with NML, and he got an invite for the tour, the commissioning tour, and we took a walk on the boat.
Did your dad know Mr. Fitzgerald?
I don't don't think so. I don't even know. I think Fitzgerald was the president of NML back in like the 30s or something like that.
W8JJ, I'm back.
Welcome back, Carter. I mean, Tim.
Well, thank you. And that was a great story about the Edmund Fitzgerald. I really enjoyed.
Make an announcement again. I've got a moderate amount of noise, but I think I can hear everybody. W8 BPV.
W8 BPV, getting ready to run the net here. This is W8BPV, getting ready for our the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday Night Band Exploration Net here at 3821. We'll be starting our net in about 4 minutes. It should only last about 10 minutes.
operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday Night Band Exploration Net. My name is Frank. My call is W8EZT, but for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call, Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. This is an open, directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, to keep our members up to date about club happenings, and to make sure that our equipment, antennas, and radios are operational on different bands. This week the band is 80 meters, and the frequency is, of course, 3.821. If you hear me, you found that. This net meets here every Monday evening on some band and frequency every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. local time, preceded by our VHF UHF net at 8:30 p.m., which in turn is preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We'll start with some announcements and ask for any check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest from the club. Once that's complete, we'll take check-ins one at a time until we're done. Then we'll restate the announcements, wrap things up, and get on out of here. All right, announcements. Let me pause for 1 second. This Wednesday at the clubhouse, 1703 Bailey Road, we will be starting to explore our repeater controller. We have a backup controller, and we'll have that on site, and it's going to be there for a while. Going to bring a power supply in there, rig it up to some speakers, and start looking at the code behind the repeater. We have some suggestions about what we can do to change it, maybe improve it, and we'd like to get your information on there, and we're especially looking for any club members that might be interested in learning the programming behind the repeater. So hope to see you there. Of course, the big event is coming up this Saturday, I'll get it right yet, Saturday, April 5th. That's our annual Spring Ham Fest. This is held at Emilio and Sons Party Center. We have sold now over 160 tickets, and we have close to $1,500 in prizes in the drawing. So you'll definitely want to be there. If you're a Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club member, we definitely need your help as a volunteer. So please drop me an email at my call, W8EZT@cfart.org, and we'll get you on the list, and we certainly appreciate your help. We need people to sell tickets, watch doors, help set up tables, help guide our vendors to their tables, and basically help the entire event run. So thank you very much, Dan. Let's see here. That's the only announcements I have. Of course, we will have a meeting on the second Wednesday in April. It'll be the 9th. We'll have a Hamfest wrap-up, and I'm not sure what else we'll be covering, but it'll be something interesting, and we'll have a better announcement next week. So that's all the announcements I have. I'll go ahead. Does anybody else have any announcements of general interest to the club?
W03X with an announcement.
Go ahead, John. And by the way, if you could, of course, announce our Hamfest on any other nets that you check into, it would be appreciated. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, okay, yeah, very good. Yeah, I'll be checking in tomorrow evening to some nets there. Okay, the band exploration net next Monday will be on 17 meters on or about 18.127 megahertz, because that is a 5th Monday. So, and it's springtime, so that's the frequency we'll be on next week. 18.127 megahertz, upper sideband. That'll be the band exploration net at 9:30. This is W03X, back to the net.
Very good, John. I'll try to get that announcement in here as we wrap this up. So thank you very much, and really appreciate what you're doing. I'll do my best to get there and check in also. Do we have anybody else with announcements of general information? All right, hearing none, we're going right for check-ins. This is W8BPV, looking for check-ins on our band exploration net tonight on 3.821 megahertz.
K8HMS.
K8HMS, coming through loud and clear from the valley. Steve, how you doing?
Yeah, okay, Frank. Yes, sorry I didn't get into the 2-meter net earlier, but kind of running behind. Yeah, I got you pretty well. You're a little bit down in the noise level, but we got a good copy on you, so. And I'm not running. I think I'm only running about 80 watts now. So anyway, wanted to give you one for the books. Good hearing you. Thanks for running both nets, and hopefully see you at the Hamfest. WAVPV KHMS.
All right, thanks, Steve. Glad hearing you in there. I'm putting about 50 watts out right now. Not a whole lot, but should cover the local area. And I am on a vertical antenna, and I think you're on a horizontal, so that's doing pretty good there also. And I did find a problem on my 2-meter antenna. I got a bad connector on there as I moved the cable around. The FWR jumps left and right, so I'm going to get that fixed in the near future. Appreciate the check-in, Steve. Stay warm, and hope to catch you down the page. This is WAVPV looking for more check-ins.
KE8TQR.
KE8TQR. Keith, good hearing you there again. Go ahead. I'll give you a signal report once I see, look at my meter.
Well, good evening, Frank. It's good to be in here tonight. I'm only running, just a little bit less than 100 watts. I don't have the amplifier turned on, so hopefully I'm making the trip. I didn't want to turn the amplifier on just for reaching the falls. But anyway, I don't have a lot. Just want to say hello to everyone tonight. Hope everyone has a great evening and a great rest of the week. I did enjoy the Zoom program this evening, and the upcoming Hamfest looks like it's going to be a good time. If we can get everything all working together and going in the right direction. I know you guys are working on it real hard, so I will do my best when I show up. But if you need any help on the Friday before, I'm available, and I'm going to be there all day Saturday, so there's that. Anyway, this is about all I got. Just want to say, everyone have a good evening and great rest of the week, like I said. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless. And Frank, you have a pretty good signal coming in here to my place.
Very good, Chief. Signal, the noise here is about S7, but you're giving me 5/S9 signal at my QTH, so coming through loud and clear. I'm on a vertical antenna, so thank you very much for your help, and certainly thank you for all of your high help at the Hamfest. It's sometimes getting people together is like herding cats. It's a challenge to do, but I think we got an awesome team, and everything's telling me right now we've got a fantastic Hamfest coming up, so thank you for your help, Keith. This is WAVPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday Night Band Exploration Net, looking for more check-ins. All right, I think I hear somebody else in the background there, but I could not make him out. He was a little bit off frequency. So WAVPV, once again, looking for more check-ins. We might only have 4 tonight, myself included. All right, nothing heard. I will go ahead and wrap this back up then. Very quickly, we've got a meeting this Wednesday at the clubhouse. We'll be tearing into the repeater controller, logically at least, figuring out how it works, looking at the programming, some of the hardware and software manuals, the current program, and see what we can do to kind of improve it and make it, bring it up to date. It's been about 15 years since it was worked on, and I think there are some things we can add to it. We also, of course, have our Hamfest coming up Saturday, April 5th. Hope to see a lot of people there. We've got about $1,500 in door prizes, along with $500 in main prizes, and we've sold now over 165 tables, and that's an all-time record, at least since I've been involved. So it's looking good, and we hope to see everybody there. With that, I'll go ahead and bring this net to a conclusion. Do we have any last check-ins? All right, in preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been Frank, WADZT, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. I
I'll close this net with 4 check-ins, myself included, and return this frequency to normal and customary amateur radio use.